Good morning, traders. It is Thursday, November the 7th. Taking a look at the charts, the SP 500 here continuing to pop as it's grinding up this 5-day moving average. We're waiting for this upward momentum to stall out, and more or less we're looking for the markets to put in some type of new either an oversold pullback for us to get long within this new trend or to put in a topping formation and for the momentum to roll over. Now, if we look down at this lower level here, these are short-term cycles, and we've got our momentum, this pink cycle here. Momentum cycle is topping out much like we saw in the past here. And each time we've seen that market get into this kind of topping phase, and that's kind of where it feels as though we are starting to get into now. So the markets could continue to stretch and grind higher. We talked about this last week that a lot of times when the market tops out, it takes a week and a half or 2 weeks for the top to kind of roll over, and it kind of lags the cycle analysis. So overall, we're looking for the market to start to put in some type of topping. We do have all the cycles clustering in the upper zone here, which is a sign that the market is getting overextended and we're ready for a pullback at any point. But again, we don't want to pick a top within an uptrend. This could continue to grind higher, so you don't want to bet against the market. Now, if we take a look over at the chart of bonds, looking over at bonds down almost 1% this morning. They continue to flush down as fear. There's lack of fear in the market. Everyone moving into equities, out of safe havens. Bonds are down. And you can see here, we're starting to get down to all the cycles putting in a significant bottom in the price of bonds. But again, it's in a downtrend and we're letting bonds work themselves out. If we take a look over at gold, money's flowing out of the safe havens. Gold down 0.5% this morning. Silver down 0.5%. Continuing the small bearish potential bear flag here. It is showing downside move below this low. If it does extend down to that move, it will actually be below our stop level. The question is, will it tag that level, potentially rally back up by the close to hold above our stop on our UGLD position, or are we going to find some support around the 618, which would be a double bottom over here, and see the market start to firm up? Overall, we are seeing the cycle looks to be the longer term cycle here starting to rotate up. We do have a higher high in terms of this cycle. We are on a momentum and short term cycle down in the lower reversal zone. So over the next couple of days, we should see this the gold market start to bounce and have some type of move up, and hopefully it'll be back to the upper end of this range as gold is kind of trading in this area here. Hopefully we'll start to see it move up back into a safe zone up here with hopefully a breakout going forward. Looking over at, let's take a look at gold miners real quick. Gold miners, you can see a nice pop there yesterday off the 20-day moving average, more or less. It's a pop up, and today we're going to see them move down. Overall, this could be still seen as a drop, a little bear flag, a 2-day bear flag, and it's going to gap down this morning, could come down and carve out a bottom. Overall price for gold miners, which typically lead, we are seeing more or less a potential reversal here. So even if this little bear flag plays out, gold miners are still holding up and leading the way, and hopefully they would come up and start to break out and pick up speed to the upside going forward. So the market's testing us this week, definitely trying to shake everyone out, and hopefully it's just a shakeout and we'll start to see the safe havens put in a bottom and start to rally here sooner than later. Looking over at natural gas, having a couple-day pullback down about 1.25% this morning. Again, a series of, it's at the 5-day moving average testing today. We'll see where it closes. Overall, we've seen a rally, a little pause and pullback right in the first resistance area. We've seen another rally, and now we're having a pullback. And if we zoom out on the charts, let's just focus on price here. If we zoom out on the charts, you can see here this area that we came up into is this previous high. And of course, this was this previous high. So each time you get to these areas here, you see the market rally up. It has a little bit of a pause and then breaks through it. Now we're having a bit of a pause. And if we can break out to the upside, we could see a very big run in natural gas going to the upside. This was our first level where we take partial profits. It's the first area price could just roll over and fall again. This is the second resistance area where price could roll over and sell back down again. So that's why we've been trimming off our positions at these two levels. Now we're seeing if we're going to get some follow through buying and go up into the next resistance zone, which is the $3+ mark for natural gas. Looking at crude, up 1.5% this morning. Crude really chopping around in this range. Again, it's still channeling to the upside. If we were to just draw a line across here, it's channeling to the upside, working its way up. It's still struggling at this blue line here, this resistance zone. The bigger picture, this looks like a potential bear flag. Still, in the end, it could end up pointing to much lower prices going forward, but it is really working itself back up into right back into the middle area of this kind of defined range over here. Other than we had the news-based spike, I usually discount those. We're going from this previous high down to these lows. So it is right almost smack dab in the middle, a little to the upside where it is. And we'll see how things unfold here. But overall, if it starts to break below some of these levels here, it could end up starting a nice downtrend and pick up speed to a much lower prices going forward. Anyways, that's about it for this morning. I'll talk to you in a little bit. Bye-bye.